Hello, Form 4 boys and girls. Today I would like to go through the last classwork, the chapter 10.3 about angles in circle. Okay, so I would like to say that the last homework is rather easy, and you can see that when we do the last homework, so what we need to do is that you have to notice whether you can see the relation between the angles. Okay, for example, you can see for the question 12, the first one, the first question 12. So you can see the first part we have to use is the angle at center twice angle at circumference. And actually, practically how should we use this one is that what we need to do is to first of all to notice the name of the angle, because the name of the angle, for example, the angle AOC, always tells us that where the angle subtended from. For example, when we say angle AOC, it means that it's subtended from AC arc towards the center O. So we have the angle AOC. So correspondingly, you will have another angle such like this one is ABC, which also start from the same arc AC but subtend to a point on the circle. For example, we say the point B. So you can see because one is towards the center, the other is towards the circle. So we have the twice relation, which is this. Okay, that means that when we compare the angle, it's very easy. What we need to do is to see the names of the angle. But you may ask, so Mr. Wong, for an angle, there may be have many names because there are many points in the figure. So the same angle may have different name. Yes, the answer is yes. But what we need to do is that when we notice the name of the angle, always seek for the point on the circle. For example, we will know that A and C should be points on circle. Because when we say okay, angle subtended from the arc, so you know that arc is the part of the circle. So the 2 points A and C should also be on the circle. Okay, that means that what we need to do is that first of all you look at the figure to see whether the points are on the circle. If yes, then you can seek for the angles to see whether we have the relation. And also you have to understand is that here we should write AOC, not the reflex AOC, because you have to understand the very important thing that AOC and reflex AOC are different angle. Reflex and AOC is the angle which is larger than the AOC, because this one reflex angle AOC should be more than 180, but the one we are finding is less than 180. So you should write 360 minus 3x by angles at a point. So you can see throughout the whole question, or even okay the other questions such as the question 13, 14 and so on, I do not write the traditional reasons, the traditional reasoning on the right. Okay, just like say angles at a point, adjacent angle on straight line, something like that. The answer is actually you don't need to write so. As I mentioned, okay, for example, like the question 14, what we need to provide the reason is that you may just write since and therefore, because okay, practically even in DSE we will not have the formal name to say why the angles are the same, not just like you can see the test book. Actually you can use those reasons in the test book, but in that DSE actually the markers will not read those reasons. But what they want to know is that they want to know why you have such a result from what you have. For example, we have AC parallel to OD in question 14, so we have the angle CAO and BOD are the same. So you know that the reason behind should be corresponding angles, but the most important thing is that this is because parallelized, so induce the result of CAO and BOD. So do remember to write since and therefore. It may be much better to write so long words that okay you may forget or you may spell wrong okay in your reasoning. So it's much better to write since therefore, since and therefore. So you can see even we do the question 15, 16, 17 and then so on, we do in this way. Even okay I can use since and therefore to combine base angle isosceles triangle, the isosceles triangle property, with the angle sum of triangle, just like this one. AB equals to AC, then I know the base angle is equals to what? Equals to 180 minus the the top angle over 2, just like you did before. But here I skip all the reasons because we can just write since and therefore to write so. Okay, so okay you can go through the answer. You can see that what I've written is just like this. Even okay you can see the question 27, I also write parallelized to say corresponding angles or interior angles or alternate angles, just up to you. But anyway, but I just want to say for the question 30, okay, for the question 30 here. Now, Here is a very special question because now you don't need to prove whether the two triangles are similar, but you have to see they are similar. But actually it's very easy to see because when you have a triangle with this shape, as you still remember the reason we learned before, you can see this one, you can apply the angles in same segments twice. Why? Because actually you can see these two triangles, okay? You have two pairs of angle, which I marked with red and green. But actually you can see these two red angles and these two green angles are coming from the same arcs. For example, red coming from the red arc here, and the green coming from the green arc here. So as I just say, angle in segment means the angles comes from or subtended from the same arc. So you can see they are the same. So you have the similar triangle because you have two pairs of angles equal. Then I can write AA. And do remember is that in Form 1, your math teacher may teach you that this one is AA. Okay, because we have to write 3 words to say the reasons of similar triangle. But practically, you have to understand that in DSE, we allowed you to write AA only. That means that you may omit the third pairs equals equal because you should show that to know that the third pair is equal also because you have two pairs equal, to the third one should use angle sum of triangle to say they're equal. Okay, so it's not difficult at all. So even when you do the question A2 for the question 30, so you apply the property of similar triangle by saying corresponding sizes similar triangle, but here I omit it. And do remember is that when we do the B, okay, do remember to write correctly the format. For example, you should write clearly that what square plus what square, and then you have the conclusion first. And here I would like to say is that the unit here we write cm square, but I suggest you to omit it. Okay, you can omit this one. So why do I have to write cm square? Because AB is a length, but AB square will become length square. So in unit we have to write cm square. It's a little bit strange, but if you really want to write, you have to write it. But you can simply omit it. Then you have to understand is that after you have written the the reasons here, so you have to show clearly what you have. The first thing you have should be only AEB, not your results directly, because this triangle is considering the triangle AEB, not the triangle AED. So you should first of all to write this, and then to get apply from this one to get angle AED is also 90. Then you can write the answer. So do remember is that some important steps, just like the question 30b, you cannot skip. For example, you should state AEB angle first is 90, then you write your answer. You cannot skip this one, okay? Because you understand that the converse of Pythagoras theorem in this question is to prove here, okay? So I'll show you one more thing before I end the script, is that in DSE, how should we write reasons? So you may not believe that, oh, I don't need to write the things we learned in junior form. Actually, it is. So just I'll take a question. This one is the last year, okay, DSE question 13 about proving the circle. So you can see in this question, you have to find the angle, you have to use the parallel property, and then to do something just like before. Then you can easily see that, okay, the things that it shows, okay, in the marking scheme. So this one is the formal marking scheme, okay. You can see it does not include any sentence, any reasons that you learned in Form 1 to 3 or even in Form 4, the long sentence here. No, you cannot see any long sentence here. So what you need to do is just you have to state, okay, what you have and what you want. For example, even you can see the B here, so you can see it right directly that ODF equals CBF equals 25. The reason behind of this one is actually comes from this one, BC parallel OD. So you may try to do by yourself, then you can easily see that this one is actually comes from this. But you can easily see that even in marking scheme, it skips writing since and therefore. But I strongly suggest you to provide reason to write since and therefore here. So actually I would like to say that since and therefore is very important here. Then after that, then you can, okay, just calculate the result by providing suitable reasons for writing since and therefore. Okay, so you can just see the marking scheme here. That means that, do remember, practically you don't need to write so many words here. But if you want to present it much better, write since and therefore. Okay, so this is the end of today's explanation. Thank you and goodbye.